Hi, my name's Rex, and I own the BuckeyeNest.com website, and I'm also a computer technician, modifier, upgrader, all kinds of stuff. I've been doing this stuff since 1984. I want to talk to you today about my current cleaning special I'm running, and the modifications and upgrades I can do for you. First off, you're looking at a system I just cleaned up a little bit. My cleaning special is $35, and that includes a vacuuming of the machine. You can see here that I already got into this one and cleaned this one all up pretty good here. The fan was all vacuumed out. This fan here in the back was all vacuumed out. Whoops, almost cut my finger there. And I blew out the areas up here with air, and I cleaned out the fan and the sections here and behind the power supply. And I wiped down the outside of the case completely and did an evaluation for upgrade on this machine. Now this machine here has what's called 80 millimeter ports and 80 millimeter fans in it. This is an 80 millimeter fan. This is a 40 millimeter cooling fan. On the machine I use for the Buckeye Nest, which is this one over here, I've installed a 120 millimeter fan on the processor. That's that big one there with the gold fins around it. And there's a 120 fan in the back and a 120 millimeter fan in the front. That's this thing right here. And I created an airflow through this. And I'm sorry about the messy looking thing here, but it is my tech computer, and I do use it for testing hardware and things. I also have a special power supply in this machine, a 500 watt power supply. Now my cleaning special also includes virus removal, spyware removal, and registry cleanup, startup manager cleanup, temporary internet file removal, shortcut fixing, and system defrag, which allows your computer to run faster. That's a hard drive issue. The basic cleanup service costs $35, and you need to add an additional $20 if you want me to come pick up your machine and deliver it back to you. Now the software that I install in your cleanup of your system is 3 programs. One of them is a program called AVG. That's your antivirus program. Now this program is free for the user. There are no monthly subscription charges as of yet, and I've been installing this program on my customers' computers for a couple of years now. It is normally set for automatic startup on Wednesdays at 3 a.m., so your computer needs to be on at 3 a.m., and then it'll boot up and it'll download the new definitions it needs and start up and run and wipe out all the viruses on your machine. Then it'll shut down. And second program I install is Spybot Search and Destroy. Now this program is also free. However, it does not run automatically. If you want to set up the automatic features on it, you need to send the author a small donation, and they'll send you a code that unlocks all the automatic features on it. This program wipes out all the spyware on your machine. It looks for redirectors, keyloggers, identity theft type stuff, and once again it's free, and it does an excellent job, and I've been installing that on people's machines for the last couple of years also. The third program I install on your machine is this Glare Utilities. Now Glare Utilities is a really good program because it cleans up registry errors, it cleans up startup manager errors, it cleans up shortcut problems, it cleans out your temporary internet files folder, and it also has this adware or spyware, if you want to call it that, built into it that checks for things that some of your other programs may miss. Now this program is also free. There is no automatic features on it, and once again you can get an automatic setup for it from the author if you send them a small donation. Now I recommend running Spybot Search and Destroy, which is your spyware program, at least twice a week, 3 times, and your Glare Utilities program, you should run that at least once a week. And once again, they have to be run manually. Now let's talk about the cooling system upgrades that I do. I showed you on the Buckeye Nest machine over there, that big 120mm fan that I install. But for a total cost of $146, I also install into your machine a hard drive fan. Now this mounts to the bottom of the hard drive. In this case, this is the hard drive in this machine. And once I plug it in and set it up, it keeps your hard drive running much cooler, which improves your performance. Some of the other things I do for you is I install a fan controller. It's this fan controller right here, and these four knobs here are LED lit, as you can see, and you can control the speeds of these fans. Now for a minor $10 upgrade to the $146 cost, I can set up this more advanced controller. Has LED readouts for system heat and CPU heat. Also has smart card readers in it, and it's got jacks on the front of it for speakers and microphones. On most machines being built nowadays, the cases are much bigger. In this case here, I told you about, these are 80mm fans, and there's only one installed in this machine. In my business machine back there, that fan you see there is a 120. I evaluate your system, and in most cases your system will hold 120s, in which case I purchase a maximum of 2 more 120s and install to your machine if they'll hold them. And I also install these special filters. Now these things, they mount on the back of the computer here, and I put one on the front if I have a fan to go in there. And the neat thing about them is these covers come off, and that filter on the inside, I only got one hand here trying to hold the camera and this thing, so the filter on the inside comes out, and you can take it right to the sink and wash it, which makes it really nice and really easy to handle. And of course, when I mount these things, they're accessible completely. Of course, this 120 won't fit on this 80mm fan, but one is mounted out here so you can get to it. And then, if it's possible, I mount the one on the front fan on the back side, so all you have to do is just pull the side cover off, which is just usually a thumb screw, and pull that cover off of the fan, and then take it in and clean it up in the kitchen. Now for an additional setup fee, and this is where I come and talk about the modifications. I can take and install a 200mm fan, something like this. I talked a little bit ago about that big 120mm fan or 200mm fan that I install. Well, this is one of them right here on the side of this computer that you can see. It's got red LEDs in it, and a better view of one of the controllers that I install for the cooling system is right here. This is my wife's machine, and this is a case that I modified for her, and a system that I built for her about 6 months ago.